Hey lovely people, welcome back once again to another exciting episode of Stitches with Collection. I'm Miss Stitches. Today in this video I'm going to share with you how to make this beautiful and easy designed handmade beaded bags. Before we start, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button. Let's get started. Materials needed. So you cut your fish line, you make sure it's long enough, you cut it off. We are using 0.50 mm. You make sure you have the ends of the fish line. You pick 3 big beads and 1 small bead. You first fix 2 big beads. Then you fix the small bead. So you have it like this, and then you cross with the last big bead using both fish lines. You make sure you have the ends, you pull it out, so one side will be longer than the other, and then this is what you get. Going on, you fix the small bead on the right fish line, and you fix the big bead on the left fish line. So you pick 2 big bead, 1 small bead, and you fix the big bead on the left fish line, then the small bead on the right fish line. So you have it like this, and then you cross with the second big bead. You make sure you have the ends, and then you pull it out, so you get it like this. So you fix 1 big bead on the left fish line, 1 small bead on the right fish line, then you cross with the second big bead, you pull it out, and then you have your third ring done. Then you weave on until we have 8 of this with the same method. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the 8th one. Then with the knife path, we are going to join it up. So with this fish line, you join it up to the side, but before that, on this fish line, you fix 1 bead. Then with that same fish line where you fix the small bead, you go through this bead here, and then you pull it out. So you have it like this, and then you pick 1 big bead and cross it both sides of the fish line. You pull it out, and then we have our circle complete. So this is what you should get for the circle. We have 9 in all, so don't worry if it's not straight. So when you count it, you should get 9 all round like this, and then the middle part will be the small beads. So we're going to weave around it the same method. So on this fish line, you pick 1 big bead and then 2 small beads. You first fix the small bead, then you fix 1 big bead, and then you fix the second small bead. So you have it like this: a small bead, a big bead, and a small bead. Then you cross with the small bead, you pull it out, and then you have it like this. And then with the right fish line, you go through the next big bead, and then you pick 1 big bead, 1 small bead again. You first fix the big bead, and then you cross with the small bead, you pull it out, and then you have it like this. Then with the right fish line, you go through the next bead, pick 1 big bead and 1 small bead again, cross with the small bead, you pull it out, and then with the right fish line, you go through the next bead. And so don't worry about this folding path. After you are done with this round, you get it straight. So you move on with the same method throughout. So when you get to the last end with the right fish line, you go through the next bead, and then on this fish line you fix 1 small bead and 1 big bead, And then this time you cross with the big bead with the other side of the fish line. You pull it out so you have the fish line turned like this. So this is what you should get. As you can see, we didn't join the last end. This is what you should have at the ends of the bag. So we are going to weave all around with the same method. So on this fish line, you fix one small bead, one big bead and one small bead again, and then you cross with a small bead. You pull it out, and then with the right fish line you go through the next bead. You fix one big bead, one small bead, and then you cross with a small bead. You pull it out, you go through the next bead. Then you fix one big bead, one small bead, you cross with a small bead, then you weave on with the same method throughout. So this is what you should be getting. If you're on the right track, you should have the base building up, and we are going to weave on with the same method. So we get 8 steps in all. So you have to weave until you get 8 rounds. So we have it now. This is what you should get. We have 8 steps in all, and now we are going to build the edges of the purse. So I'm going to use the same fish line. So on this fish line, you fix one big bead, one small bead, and then one big bead again. Then you cross with the big bead. Using the other side of the fish line, you pull it out. And this is what you should get. Then with the right fish line, you go through the next bead. Then you pick one small bead, one big bead, then you cross with the big bead. Using the right fish line, you pull it out. Make sure it's very tight. Then with the right fish line, you go through the next bead. Fix 2 beads again, one small bead, one big bead, and then you cross with the big bead. So this time you are only crossing with the big bead instead of the small beads. Then you weave on till you get to the end. Then I show you how to curve. So when I get to the end of this side, on the right fish line, I'm not going through any bead. I'm not going through any bead. You rather pick 2 small beads, fix one on each fish line. So you have it like this, and then you pick one big bead. Then you cross with both sides of the fish line. You make sure you have the ends, you pull it out very tight, so you have it like this. Then you fold it up like this, and then this time with the right fish line, you go through the next bead. Then you fix one small bead, one big bead, you cross it up with a big bead. You pull it out. And then with the right fish line, you go through the next bead, and then you weave on with the same method till you get to the end. So this is what we are doing for this purse. As you can see, we have the edges nicely made out, and this is one part of it. This is one part of the purse, and I made the same thing offline, the same size, the same shape, the same design. We are going to join it together to get the full body of the bag. So I'm using this same fish line because it's long enough. So on this fish line here, you fix one bead. Then with that same fish line where you fixed the bead, you go through this first bead on the other side of the bag. You pull it out so you have the beads in the middle of both sides. And then you pick one bead and cross with both sides of the fish line. You pull it out, and then with the right fish line, you go through the next bead. With the left fish line, you go through the next bead. And then you pick one small bead, you cross with both sides of the fish line, you pull it out. And then with the right fish line, you go through the next bead. With the left fish line, you go through the next bead. And then you pick one small bead again and cross with both sides of the fish line. And then this time you are only crossing with a small bead, so you weave on till you get to the end. And then you pull it out, so you have it like this. And now I'm going to pass the excess fish line through to secure this part of the work. and this is what you should get after you are done joining the sides together. And our bag is simply made out. So with this design of a bag, you can just open it up and it closes up automatically by itself because of the way we did the edges or the endings of the bag. And we are done with our easy handmade beaded purse or bag. You can increase the size if you want it big. Please give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more and more of my tutorials. Make sure to comment and share as well. Stay safe. See you in my next video. Have a nice day and bye.